Yep.
Yes. Okay. Are we live? We officially live? Can
Yep.
y'all see us? We
We're
live?
live.
All righty. TV land. How's everybody doing today? This is Jeff Hill, and I'm super excited today. I have somebody that's near and dear to my heart. I have a ton of respect for this lady for what she's been able to do in the tax world. Good gosh, when I say she's come to the table with a wealth of knowledge. You guys know I've been a business owner for a while, and I like to keep my ear to the ground and find people who bring innovation to the marketplace. And when I say she has done that and more, man, like I can't say enough good things about her. She has built multiple businesses, seven-figure businesses at that. But not only it's not so much about what she's been able to build, but more so what she's been able to give back and what she's done with her strategies and bringing the stuff to the marketplace. I wanted to get Carlotta on so she can talk about what we have going on and how we can help you guys save a ton of money on taxes. Raise your hand if you do not like to pay taxes. Okay. Sometimes we don't mind paying our fair share, but what we don't want you to do is get in the habit of leaving a tip to the IRS. Okay. So again, she's coming from a background of 7 years dealing with the man. Okay. And she saw a huge gap in what CPAs and accountants were doing as it relates to the tax code. So she said, you know what? As an entrepreneur, let me solve a problem. I see a gap and I want to fill this gap with proper planning. So she has a complete done for you service that she's willing to offer. But more than anything, we're going to be giving you guys some free nuggets today and tell you what we have going on. We want you guys to tap into. So Carlotta, please come in and introduce yourself.
I'm so excited to be here. So I'm telling my team right now to get off the internet because I think we're lagging a little bit, but I'm so excited to be here. And let's just talk about like really the government gives tax incentives to business owners so they can pay less tax because they need your help to do what they would have to do. So if you want to tip the government, don't pay tax, do what they tell you to do. And that's the best thing you can do for our communities and our country. So what does that look like? Well, right now you're hearing a lot about the 88,000 agents of the IRS is hiring and all this craziness that you're hearing in the media. What you're not hearing about are the tax strategies that are coming out with that bill. And so you always are going to hear the negatives, but never the positives. So right now, they're really focusing on solar energy and solar credits. So on our summit, we have somebody coming in talking about solar. During Corona, you heard about the benefits for keeping employees, but you didn't hear about all the other incentives that were available. And so we're talking about those. You hear what you hear is what the media wants you to hear. Let's just be real. Your accountants normally act like they're on the IRS's payroll and everything's a red flag, which let me be really, really honest. I've never heard a red flag that an accountant says a red flag that's a real red flag. I was actually in the classification department for the IRS. We would go in classification detail once a year. And so I know exactly what the red flags are because I did classification. Another thing, we just got a client that is an IRS agent, a current IRS agent. They're like, we love what you're doing. We know what you're doing is legit. You audited people, exactly what we're looking for. And we want to use you because you help people pay less tax. And frankly, we want to pay less tax. So it's not just about, it's not bad to not pay taxes because you're doing what the government wants you to do, which is invest in solar, invest in real estate, invest in people. That's why we have all these tax credits for employees. Invest in life insurance or insurance period. Investing, there's like 7 things that the government wants you to do. And if you do those, then the government will give you benefits, investing in equipment. And so they'll give you benefits because you have helped the economy. That's really what it boils down to. Investing in research and development. That's another big one. So we put together the first ever summit that I have seen for business owners talking about paying less tax. Like, who wouldn't want to learn all the ways to pay less tax? And obviously, you guys are business owners. The summit is totally free. It's a 3-day summit, totally free. But there's also an option to upgrade for you to have access to this forever. for like $67. So a lot of people are like, I don't have time to watch this for 3 days. We want you to know as soon as you opt in, you're going to get an option to buy an all access pass, which means you'll have access to this forever. And that's what I've heard of from a lot of entrepreneurs, where they're like, I went to the page, but I didn't have those 3 days available. I'm like, if you'd have just opted in, you would have gotten the chance, because it's a tax deduction, first of all. Secondly, it's $67, and it will show you all these 30, over 30 speakers of ways to save money on taxes and to grow your tax-free wealth.
Awesome. 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 So one of the big takeaways, guys, that I want you to understand is paying taxes is optional, right? There are legal, 100% legal ways for you to depreciate or deduct a lot of things that you're already doing, but sometimes you're just not taking advantage of it. You've heard the phrase, you don't know what you don't know. Well, when it comes to taxes, there's like 10,000 pages of the tax code, right? And most people don't know them all. And unfortunately, sometimes when we deal with CPAs or attorneys, it's more like historian in nature. It's bring the stuff that you did and let's go through the tax code and let's see how it all fits. What we like to do is be more proactive. So even one of the things I teach from an advisory standpoint is how we do proactive and holistic planning. So what we want to do is equip you guys with the knowledge that you need to start thinking more proactively, because the more proactive you are, the better you can actually plan where your money is coming and going. And then if you know where your money is coming and going, that's how you start to build wealth. One thing that I know about wealthy people is we love control. We love control of our money. Okay. And if you're just blindly giving away money because you are afraid of the IRS, that means you need to get a plan or a team in place that's willing to go to bat for you. Okay. Everything that we're doing is backed by the actual tax code, which sometimes people don't understand. There are things that you can deduct that you maybe didn't even know about. Well, again, how much different would it be if you paid, let's say, like just 30% less in taxes? And I don't know how much you pay. Maybe you paid $10,000. Okay, what could you do with an extra $3,000 a year, right? What if you paid $100,000? What could you do with an extra 30? How much more could you invest if you had that 30% or whatever the case may be? One of the things that she did on one of her trainings that really stuck out to me is how to make your first $100,000 tax-free or tax deductible, whichever one it was. It still worked. And it blew my mind. I'm like, wait, that's pretty freaking simple, but it's just about being in the know. So don't be afraid of the tax person. She told you she spent time as an auditor. So we're bringing an insider to the table who's giving you inside knowledge on how to really play the game. I think it was Warren Buffett that says, if poor people, and I say that, I'm not saying that you're poor, I'm just telling you what Warren Buffett said, but if poor people did what rich people did, they wouldn't be poor anymore, okay? So I want you to use that and adjust the language. If you did what rich and wealthy people did with the tax code, what would naturally happen to you? Again, we want you to have more control of your money. So I'm featured on day 2 in there, and I'll be sharing some strategies in there as well. I've been able to go through some of the content, and I'm taking notes left and right because I'm still being wowed. One of the things that I love as a business owner is to always be learning. That's one of my core philosophies, is to always be learning and surround myself with the thinking that outthinks me. Because if you're always the smartest person in the room, that means you have to get in a new room. I want to put myself in the room. So if I'm doing this, what do you think you should be doing as well? Okay, because I am forever learning how to control my money and direct where it comes and goes. So Carlotta, is there anything else you want to kind of tell them about you, yourself, your companies, and kind of some of the things that you specialize in outside of just massive tax savings?
Yeah. So, I also want to say your tax strategy ends on 12/31 of the current year. So right now we're in 2022. Your tax strategy ends on December 31st. And most people don't, they don't even think about taxes until the next year, or maybe they have that year-end call with their accountant, but they tell them just to go buy a bunch of stuff they don't need so they don't have to pay taxes. You can actually take things you're already doing, and there's credits and deductions that you can use that you don't know about. Another thing I want to say is most people do not know how much money they pay in taxes. The other day, somebody pretty famous was like, if we had to go down to the bank and get money out every time we had to pay taxes, there would be a revolution in this country. And I want you to go pull your federal tax return. On the first page of your tax return, it's like your name, your dependents, your wages, and so forth. On the second page is actually your taxes. your tax due. And it's not what most people think. It's not what you pay in at the end of the year or whatever. It's actually line 18 and line 23. Go add up line 18 and 23 on the second page of your 2021 or 2020 tax return and see what you paid. I guarantee you you're going to be flabbergasted. We're paying way too much tax in this country, while we're also trying to build the country. And so just do what the rich do, and you can be rich. And people are always like, well, is this legal, or are these really secrets? Actually, they're not secrets. They're very black and white. But your accountant always is historical. And tax strategy is done at the time that you're doing the project. Somebody messaged me the other day and he said, hey, Carlotta, I just sold my company, or I just sold my real estate, and I was buying another real estate. And I was like, it's too late. You didn't message me before you sold the real estate. Like, you didn't take the course that I put out there talking about 1031 exchanges. You didn't follow the thing. So now it's even too late. And it was only a month ago. So a lot of times it's really just knowing what you don't know. A lot of this stuff, you have to have some foresight, right? So on the summit, we talk about opportunity zones. Well, an opportunity zone has to be done at the time you're investing in the property, not after you bought the property. You can't go backwards. And so a lot of things you can't go backwards. So that's the biggest thing, is remember, you need to learn just a little bit. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to learn taxes. That's why I hire someone. Well, let me just be very frank with you. As a business owner, it takes $7 in sales to equal $1 in tax. Okay. So if I can save you $10 in taxes, that's $70 in gross receipts. So if I can save you $1,000 in taxes, that's $7,000 in gross receipts you would have to make. How do I get that number? Well, say I make $10,000. First of all, I'm only going to have about a 30% profit margin. That's going to be about $3,000 profit margin. And then I'm going to pay sometimes half of that in taxes. So $1,500 on 10,000 is all I really get to keep. And so it's very important that you're learning as much about what to do with your money than it is on how to make them. In this summit, you talked about how you're on day 2. Day 1 is all tax strategies. And we don't expect you to watch every single minute of this thing, right? Pick out some highlights that you start with. Buy the All Access Pass at $67, and it will give you all kinds of stuff that you can go back to and reference when you're ready. Day 3, there's tons of stuff about business acquisitions and real estate. It is way high level. I mean, we're talking about multimillionaires on there talking about exactly what you do. And how you said, I like to get in the room with people that I want to be the dumbest one in the room. And so I started hanging out with people that were 100 million plus, even billions, because and there's not very many billionaires in the country. But I like to be in a room with at least one of them. And so usually I'm going to be in a mastermind with billionaires. So what I'm teaching is what the billionaires and 100 million plus millionaires are doing to the people that might only be making $50,000 a year in their business or $500,000 a year in their business. So there is something for everyone. Even if you don't have a business, there's a business acquisitions and real estate piece of this in the summit that is going to blow your mind. And so that's what I'm going to say is, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go sign up. The sign-ups and the link. This is the most I've ever put into any one thing, and it's totally free.
Awesome. You can't be free.
Can't be free.
To give you perspective, in the last 30 days, I've spent almost $7,000 in coaching programs and stuff in my business. Okay. And that's just in the last 30 days.
That's pretty normal for me.
And it's tax deductible. That's another good thing about it. So again, one of the things one of my mentors on the personal development side taught me, Bob Proctor, says, if you pour your wallet into your mind will fill your wallet. Okay, so what it means by that is when you start to invest in yourself, which is one of the best investments you're ever going to make in your own financial IQ, you're going to be more creative. You're going to learn more strategies that you can bring to the marketplace. And again, even outside of tax strategies, what if it's a marketing strategy? What if it's whatever the case, throw a rock, right? Any kind of strategies, just like if you attend a conference, they say, listen, you don't necessarily go to a conference with the intent to overhaul your entire business. If you take away one good idea that you know you can implement, that one idea alone is going to pay for whatever amount of the cost of whatever the conference was many times over, even just one good idea. So what we're saying is it's $0. How much, what's your return on $0 that you have to spend if you want to attend for free? Or what is what will your return be on $67 invested one time for the rest of your life? Because again, as you start to grow and scale, like she said, some of this stuff is going to be high level. Some of the stuff you're going to be like, I don't even know what that means. It's an acronym or whatever, right? But as you learn, you have access to come back. Sometimes you might need to watch it over and over and over and over and over. I grew up in the country. Guys, I used to pee off my back porch. I mean, it was 52 people in my graduating class. So I know if I can sit there and take the time to learn this stuff, repetition is where you're going to get that learning. Because the first time I might hear it, I don't know what I don't know. And then I know that I don't know. And I'm like, okay, I can get this. But it's not necessarily you having to get all the information, okay? One of the things that we're working on is creating a mastermind. This is going to be good for people who maybe can't grasp it just like that. And you need that hand holding. You need that monthly or that quarterly approach. Well, great. Invest in yourself. Part of that $7,000 is a $2,500 a month coaching program. It's a one-year coaching program. That's $30,000 that I'm going to spend just on that piece alone. There's another $7,500 coaching program that I'm in. So I'm doing this because, again, to scale past seven figures, you have to have coaching. Do not try to get there by yourself. You need a team. So what we bring together is that virtual family office feel of that team. So it's like, all right, I can take my questions to my team and get the answers. And for some reason we can't find the answers, we got a network of people who have our backs. That's what you see, like on this side, the group part is not me. That means I represent more than one entity because I can't do all this stuff by myself. I don't do taxes. You know who I depend on? Which side are we on? This side. All right. Again, I compiled a team of people who know more than what I know, and that's me surrounding myself. So my gift to you guys is free access. So you will see in the chat is my link. Go sign up for free. Again, upgrade, pay the $67, and I can guarantee you're going to find some value in that. I really cannot see how you can't find value in 34 plus hours of information that you have access to. If you were to net that down with the hours per cost, I don't even know how that would even compute. I mean, well,
it's insane. And I mean, this is like,
business.
This isn't like, oh, everybody on there wants to sell you something or something. Like there's no offer, there's no nothing. It's all just like, here it is. Here's what you need to do. This is the con. I mean, it is mind blowing. And I think after this, I'm going to take it and turn it into a course and probably sell it for much more. So, I mean, there's so much there. So please go and register. It's free. It will change your life. It only takes one relationship to change your life. Absolutely. And I guarantee you on that summit, you will find somebody that you're like, oh my goodness, this was amazing. And that person can change your life. So I appreciate you guys being here and listening to us, and just go sign up for the summit.
Go sign up for the summit. Keep this phrase that I'm about to say with you. Collaboration is the new currency. Okay, this is one of the things that I took away from one of my conferences this past year. I went to 10X Growth Con with Grant Cardone. Collaboration is the new currency. You're going to start to see is more stages, more conversations like this from a lot of different angles, whether it's me, her, or anybody else that you might follow, because collaboration is the new currency. People are wanting almost one-stop shop. And what's happening is they're going to business owners and professionals like myself and her, and they want all this stuff done. Well, it's a lot harder for maybe her to write you an insurance policy if she doesn't have that license. If I'm not a CPA, accountant, or an EA, I'm not going to do your taxes for you like that, right? So again, collaboration is new currency. So for the people out there who are really, really listening and paying attention, find people you can collaborate with and bring value to the marketplace and watch what starts to happen. This is what she says, this is what she means when she says that one relationship can change everything. You are one good handshake away from the next level that you need, but you have to be open. You have to be willing to grow. You have to get uncomfortable, and you have to be willing to serve, because that's what this is all about. So again, follow either of us. If you got questions, DM us, Carlotta Thompson. You can go to our page. You can see the Tax Strategies of America. Go get the knowledge. Click on the link that I have. It's free right now. Upgrade for the $67. And again, and anytime you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to us. Carlotta, how can people get in contact with you? If they have direct questions for you, how can they reach out to you?
Just Facebook message me. I mean, my team is in my Facebook Messenger all day long. And we'll be on the summit. We'll be doing, there's a VIP experience that you can also buy on the summit where we meet every night to go deeper. So really, like, this is, it's like $20, I think, or $30 for the VIP experience, and you get like 3 days with us at night. So it's amazing. Just that's all I can say. But if you've got a question, just DM me on Facebook and I would be love to help you.
All right. Awesome, guys. I am out. This is Jeff here with Hill Financial Group and the Retirement 2.0 movement. And this is Carlotta Thompson with Tax Strategies of America. Guys, get the link and get access to it today. We'll see you next time.